Hello and welcome to day 2 of our masterclass. We're just getting started here. I'm going to give a few minutes to let people jump on. I'm going to be signing on to Facebook, get technology caught up. If you are just jumping on or joining us live, say hello and let us know how you're doing today. I have some fun things in store for our master class. There we are. Let's see. Okay, great. We are up and running on Facebook. Wonderful. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get started. If you are just jumping on, feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're coming in from. Welcome to day 2 of our powerful masterclass, the Soulmate Manifestor Accelerator series. And I apologize for the noise in the background. They're doing construction below my building. There is nothing I can do about it. So hopefully it is not so annoying on your end and you cannot pick it up, but here we are. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Morgan. I'm an Akashic Records practitioner and healer, and I am a soulmate energy connector, and I love working with other people in terms of soulmates because we are very big and beautiful souls. We are very multidimensional, and we have many, many soulmates that want to come in and support us in our journey. Hi, Amanda. Ooh, the Zoom link should be in the email. If you can't find it, you can also stay on Facebook and pop your comments in there. Or let me get you the Zoom link here, my dear. Also, my sincerest apologies. You would think after so many years of being in another country, I would have the time thing down, and yet there was a glitch in the translation of time. Let me find that. I did send a new one out today with a new Zoom link. Let me see what we got going on here, dear, just a second, and I'll get that for you. I do have to say that technology has not been working so well in my favor. I know I'm not the only one. I have been having complications with Zoom, but we're going to get through this. So, okay, let me get you my link here, my dear. All right, so if you're jumping on, you can send me a friend request. If that Zoom link is not working, just send me a friend request. And let me see, where is my meeting? I just want the... Why isn't it giving me a link? Let me find it another way. All right, sorry for the delay here. So if you're jumping on and you can't get the link, or the link is not working, you can't find the link, you can jump onto my Facebook page. You can send me a friend request. See a preview of that. Yeah, just looking at that email, it looks like that link did not link. I apologize. Let's look at where we can grab that from. I apologize, guys. I'm so sorry. It has been all sorts of technology stuff going on. Let me grab that for you. Got it. Okay, so let's jump over to Facebook here. I'm going to put this on the live. All right, cool. So there is the link coming up on the live. So sorry about that. Let me see if I can get that back into the email. If you want, we can stick on social media and we will get going here in just a minute. Okay, so great, that's going out. All right, I think we got all of this technology taken care of. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. So sorry. Oh my God, it's always something, isn't it? All right, so let's get going. Whew. Just going to take a deep breath and ground. We are here. We are ready to go. Let's get started. Hi, there's your beautiful face. I see you now. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I know you're not the only one. Other people have been jumping on. Otherwise, we'll stick with Facebook as well. So let's get going. So yesterday we talked all about intention, which I hope was really fun. And if you haven't seen day one, don't worry, you can catch the replay. They don't need to be seen in order, but what we picked up in day one will also help you apply with what we're working at today. So we're talking all about intimacy today, and we're going to do it through the lens of boundaries and agreements. There are so many directions we can take with intimacy, but from what I've discovered where people really need assistance is understanding and creative supportive boundaries and agreements. And that starts with doing that within ourselves so we can attract a partner that supports our boundaries and honors our boundaries. Because when it comes to intimacy, we have emotional and physical. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to break it down into those two categories. And the equal sign kind of runs only one way. The equal sign does not go both ways. What I mean by that is when you have an emotionally intimate bond with a person, it lays a foundation to enter and create a physical intimacy, a physical bond, should you choose. The equal sign does not run the way that when you start out in a physically intimate environment, that does not necessarily guarantee you're going to build an intimacy between the two of you that is supportive and fulfilling to your needs. And that is one of the biggest entanglements that happens when we're meeting a new person and we want to dive deeper very quickly in a physical sense. We haven't put our boundaries and agreements into that equation. And so we're going to come back to physical in just a little bit. So emotional intimacy is such a powerful thing because that can happen in romantic and platonic relationships. You can have very emotionally intimate relationships with your best friend, with community members, with people who make you feel really safe. You feel like you can just be yourself around them and you can have this really deep relationship. And that is a very safe place to get our emotional needs met and fulfilled, because I'm going to define emotional intimacy. The Guardians are defining it as the bond of trust that we feel. And they're going to expand that to say the bond of trust we feel with another person or ourselves. And so the more we trust, the stronger the bond. And so when you think about in terms of feeling like you might have trust issues, you've had people that have maybe breached your trust in the past, and that is a kind of a scary hurdle to jump over when meeting somebody. Well, think about it in terms of ourselves, right? Like, how do we repair that within ourselves so we have this gauge of whom to trust and to let in? And that becomes back to discernment. We were speaking about discernment yesterday. This is an area where we really need to discern who can come in. How is this safe? So I want you to think a little bit about something like an action that you have from a friend or a quality that builds trust for you, that helps you take a step further in letting down your guard to another person. One example for me is when somebody's actions and their words align, that allows me to place some more trust and to go deeper with that person, because I know they're going to do what they say. That's what they've shown me in the past. They've told me they're going to show up. They've told me if I need something, they're there, and they follow through on these type of things. That to me is something that builds a lot of trust. So I want you to think about some things that are going to come up for you that really help you feel safe in a relationship. And think in terms of a very platonic, a friendship. Think in terms of a community member, a mentor, somebody that you really have a special bond with. And those are going to be some keys and indications about where you need to start in terms of trust. And so, in what ways can you and do you trust yourself? Hi, Mickey. Yeah, there was so sorry. I sent the link around again. We went through all sorts of technical stuff in the beginning, but we're here now. So you have much. Thank you. I'm going to send the replay around later too, so you'll have that to catch up on. So we were just talking about emotional intimacy being, as defined by the masters, teachers, and loved one, the bond of trust we feel with another person and with ourselves. And so think about some things that helps build trust for other people, for you. And then I want you to spend some time thinking about what are some ways that you can trust yourself and ways that you can and you do trust yourself. Okay, so like if you have a goal you want to reach, you have an intention you want to feel, you have something you want to do, how do you know you're going to accomplish that? What type of actions do you take? What type of things do you have going on with inside you that you know you trust you're going to achieve that? So that's something that I want you to spend a little time thinking about. This is going to be something that evolves over time, and this is going to help you to understand what type of frequency of trust that you hold and what type of frequency of trust is showing up. So some things that hold this energy of trust. And so the guardians were asking to get curious about what type of situations hold the energy of mistrust for you, what type of actions, what type of misactions. For the example that I used, when somebody's words and actions do not line up, that holds an energy of mistrust for me because that puts me in a place of confusion. Well, they're saying one thing and they're doing another. Which one is true? So that's a small example, but they're going to go deeper. So I want you to think in terms of intimacy. What are some things that hold the energy of mistrust? And that can be within others. And the guardians have been really talking about holding the energy of trust within yourself. And hands down, the biggest action item that holds the energy of mistrust for me is when I ignored my intuition. We've all had instances in our past where our gut just told us something. We might not have known exactly what our gut was telling us. We knew it just didn't feel right, but we either went ahead and did something anyway, or we just didn't listen to whatever the message was coming up. And as I have moved through those are the sticking points that I've had to go back and look at and figure out, well, what happened there? Why did I mistrust my own gut? And a lot of it had to do, for my personal reasons, not standing in my own worth, giving up my power, things like that. This is one of the most common thing I see, having relationships come in, and it is so common to want a relationship to fill a space in our life, to fill a need for us, that it can be easy to look past these little red flags, these little bumps, these little signs our intuition is telling us. And the more we get into the habit of listening to those little bumps, those little signs, we're going to start to understand what our intuition, what our body is trying to tell us about where we are going. Is this relationship, this place, this person safe for me? And so the guardians are talking about how trust is very strong, but also very delicate, because it can be eroded or broken. It can be eroded over time. It can be broken in a second. If somebody does something that feels in violation of your trust, that trust is gone. So in terms of emotional intimacy, building this is a long process. It takes time, right? Things unfold over time. You have a new person coming into your life. You're wanting to manifest some more support, some new community members, some whatever soul relationships outside of a romantic relationship you're wanting to bring in, and inclusive of a romantic, but not exclusive to. What these things take time, right? We need to learn what this other person does, how they tick, how they support us, how things kind of unfold and flow in this synergy. And it's easier to see emotional intimacy in its truest form being built in a non-romantic relationship, because we really get to know ourselves without this fear around, if we have not had a good experience in a relationship, if we've not had a loving and supportive relationship. If we've had a loving and supportive relationship and it's just no longer in our life, due to loss, due to whatever circumstance, and you know how to build this very supportive relationship, then you have a little more room to play to build these into your life in a quicker sense. So we're going to move down to physical intimacy, because like the biggest theme that I hear and see is that somebody met somebody, it was full of chemistry, they may have been their soulmate, it may have been their twin flame, and sparks flew, or they are still flying. The sex was incredible, and then either the person just disappeared, or they feel like something was missing in the relationship and they just couldn't put their finger on it. They tick so many boxes, but not all of these other boxes. And why is that? That's because it's chemistry, and chemistry is just that. It's just chemicals. You need a constant input and supply of chemicals. Whereas something that's built over a long period of time, some trust and follow through, something with a stronger foundation is going to come in and support you. Whereas chemistry and physical intimacy can bring a whole lot of great energies into your world as well. It can bring pleasure, it can bring connectedness, joy, playful, even creative energy into your being and into your world. It is just so important to understand what level of trust you need in order to step into physical intimacy. And so this is something to get really clear about. And not a lot of people are taught to think of it in terms like this. In order to move in physical intimacy, what do you need? What level of trust do you need? And in order to figure that out, having your values and your needs and your non-negotiables in place. So that does not have to be specific to intimacy. If you value integrity, if you value a very present person, maybe you value somebody who's a great communicator, And heck, you value somebody who's a great cook. Like, it doesn't have to be associated with intimacy physically, but it can be in a way that would support you. It's also very clear, you need to get clear on your non-negotiables. So a non-negotiable is just something that you are not going to go without. That could look like having your morning walk. That's a non-negotiable for you. And you, let's see, what other ones are they talking about in terms of intimacy? Having somebody who checks in, like maybe a non-negotiable for you is have a communicative partner. You need somebody that is available to respond to you, give you feedback, stay in communication with you. And that just is something you absolutely need. And so when you have your list, and this is something I highly recommend, getting down all of the things you value out of a relationship. And again, values can be somebody who communicates well, somebody who's present. You know, if you're not wanting to manifest a partner who is always zoned off on their phone, like include things like they're present. Maybe you work really hard and it would be nice to have somebody that could help you with meals. I mean, throw on great cook. That's definitely something I always look for in friends and things like that. Maybe you have a hobby that you enjoy and this person is able to hold space for you to maintain this hobby or support your gifts. If spirituality is important to you, make sure that is on your list. If somebody who is in a growth mindset and is continually to work on themselves is important to you as well, make sure that's on your list. And then when you get your list of values, there's going to be, 5 or 6 that are going to bump out at you that are your absolute non-negotiables. And non-negotiables can look like, I have to take my supplements every day. I need my exercise every day. I need to do my spiritual journaling every day. I need 10 minutes of me time every day, or 3 times a week, whatever that looks like. Because your non-negotiables are where you're going to start to understand your boundaries with yourself. For example, going to bed and getting a good night's sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is a non-negotiable for me. So going to bed by 10:30 is absolutely what I need to do in order to get enough sleep and wake up with my kids in the morning. So that means I'm saying yes to going to bed at 10:30, and I'm going to say no to catching up friends on the other side of the world because the time zones line up. I'm going to say no to watching one more episode of Netflix or whatever it is, because I'm saying yes to the good night's sleep. That's a non-negotiable. So when you start looking at your non-negotiable in terms of, okay, what do you need to say yes to in order to have this? Means you're going to have to say no to something else to continue this practice. And the more you get in this energy of knowing what is yes and what is no, what am I saying yes to? Okay, because I can't do everything, I'm going to have to say no to something. You're going to start building boundaries. And so when you're starting to manifest these relationships showing up in your life, and somebody asks you to do something that just kind of really isn't in line with your values or makes you feel like you need to sacrifice one of your non-negotiables, you're going to have the practice and the voice to say, you know what, I'm sorry, that just doesn't work for me. Sorry about that. I'm not able to do that. And that's going to feel good to you because it's going to feel like a common practice. It's going to feel like something that you have been doing. On the flip side, when you have somebody show up that asks you to do something or be a part of something that is 100% aligned with your values, your needs, and your non-negotiable, you're going to be able to say yes. And you're going to be able to enjoy in that energy of this other person participating in something that really makes sense to you and really is special to you. Let me know if this is resonating for you. So once you get these boundaries in place, and these boundaries start outside of the realm of intimacy, this is where you can take these boundaries, these values into the realm of intimacy. And you can start looking at defining what is an emotionally intimate relationship look like for you? What type of trust does that feel like? What does trust look like and feel like to you? And this is really important when coming into a relationship where there's physical intimacy. You're going to have your boundaries, you're going to have your values, you're going to have your non-negotiables, and you'll be able to communicate your needs, especially if there's any past abuse, any past trauma, any past experiences that weren't supportive in terms of physical intimacy. You're going to have the strength to communicate that to your partner, because the key to discernment is understanding that this is a safe place in order to open your heart and your body to. So let me say that again in a little bit different way. When somebody shows up, when you have manifested this partner, it is so important to start with the building block of trust and emotional intimacy in order to test the waters to see if they can receive you in a safe way, and all of your past and all of your needs, your values and non-negotiables when it comes to terms of physicality. They too are going to be putting all their cards on the table because it will be equal across the board. And so as good as it can feel to have like manifested a soulmate, met a twin flame, it's really important to not get into the story of whom we've met, what is their label, and give into that yummy feeling of all that chemistry without making them do the work, because there is no guarantee that they're going to. And it allows us to break that cycle of repeatedly manifesting relationships, partners, soulmates, twin flames that show up, bomb us with love, bomb us with chemistry, bomb us with all these things that feel so great. And after the chemicals wear off because they are not sustainable to continue to produce, we're going, hey, well, now what? So I got this person and well, the sex was great, but I don't know, it just doesn't really fit into my life anymore. Or the other person just bolted and you're left going, hey, what really happened? Or maybe it was you that had to run away because it was too intense. I mean, it could happen in so many different ways. It's really important when we're engaging into a very intimate relationship that we make sure we put all of our needs in a very safe place and then reveal them in a manner that they're going to be met, because this is the litmus, right? So if you're giving a little bit, the other person is responding, they're meeting your needs, then you're able to go a little bit deeper. And you can apply this without ever crossing the line into physical intimacy. If you're wanting to manifest a new community, if you haven't felt like you've had really fulfilling friendships and you're either kind of lonely or you just feel like you're missing some depth in your relationships, start by reconnecting deeper to that trust you have within yourself and play around with building a deeper trust bond with somebody that you feel you can, somebody that you feel is safe. And again, that comes back to looking at those behaviors the other person demonstrates to give you those green flags, those really amazing green flags that they're going to be there for you, to what capacity they're going to be able to be there for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I know that's a lot of information. If that is resonating with you all, let me know. You can drop a hearts and emoji if you have any questions. I'm looking on Facebook. Hi, Greg. All right, so that is what we've got for today, boundaries and agreements around intimacy. If you want to go deeper through intimacy, I have a very big module in my new program, the Awaken Your Soulmate Within. We have a whole module dedicated to intimacy, emotional, physical, and all sorts of other categories. This is just one tiny little subcategory. And we also talk a lot more and work through, there's some healing that is involved around any past abuse or trauma that you've had endured through intimacy, because that is something that almost everyone or somebody in everyone's lineage has. And when we've had a member in our soul lineage, in our familial lineage that has suffered any abuse or trauma, it definitely can impact us. We do carry that trauma in our DNA. So addressing that is really important, and that it affects you and all the other generations involved when you're able to heal that. So right now, everything is 50% off until the 31st of August. The cart closes on the 8th of August and class starts the 15th. So if you have any questions, I'm going to pop in the links. You have the page link. You can book a free discovery call and we can talk about that if that's a good fit for you. If you have any questions, you can pop those in the chat box. And then we're going to get going soon on our healing. I'm going to put these up on Facebook. And going through and like make your list of your values, your non-negotiables, and your needs is one of the most beneficial exercises that you can do, because there might be something that comes through your pen that is not even in your conscientious mind about how that could support you. So having those on paper will bring some things. And remember, when you are wanting to set your intentions to manifest different things, having those type of values and agreements and non-negotiables, your boundaries involved when creating an intention is a super, super powerful way to make sure that that is included in what you manifest. So we're going to do a fun little healing today, and I'm guided to do it around, even though we're talking about intimacy, they want to work on releasing past experiences of mistrust. So we're going to do a beautiful little healing that is going to assist us in releasing those experiences and kind of connect us back into our intuition. So I'm looking forward to it. Without further ado, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and drop down into your heart space. And as you breathe, a beautiful crystalline elixir from up above is going to come in, a beautiful white light mixed with purple, almost a clear purple amethyst. Amethyst is such a beautiful crystalline energy. It acts like a psychic vacuum. So the white light, the selenite, the great I am energy is going to be acting like an infinite number of light strands, while the amethyst is going to be scrubbing clean any energy, any residue, any low light, vibrating anything that's mucking up your energy field that's not yours. So as these energies cascade down upon you, and spill over the crown of your head, washing through your chakras, washing through your third eye, your auric field, your body, your being. Connect through your central nervous system, soothing your nervous system, releasing any of the fight or flight energy. Any nervousness or anxiety will gently be soothed away by these crystalline energies. As they gently and slowly sweep down your body and reach your feet, it will activate your grounding roots. Grounding roots are going to work their way all the way through Mother Earth's crusts and layers. We're going to connect with her molten core. And Gaia is going to send up a beautiful crystalline elixir. She's sending up rose quartz and a beautiful blue calcite. Calcite is one of the only grounding stones that's light in color, and it assists in opening and mending the heart. It's like a beautiful sky blue, some wisps of white. And as these energies come up, you're going to feel them gently entering into your energy field, your body and being, grounding your feet and your roots, anchoring your energy down into a state of calm, into a state of safety, into a state of security. as they continue to work their way up your torso, washing through your central love column. Connect with you and your heart space, connecting with the energy of the great I am. You are connected and protected as above, so below, 360 degrees all around. From down below your feet, the beautiful energy. It's almost like a breeze rushing up. You are light as a feather with this crystalline energy, elixir mixed around you. And this breeze is gently going to begin to lift you up, encapsulated in this crystalline energy. You should begin floating upward. You'll pass through the top of your heart space. You'll be gently escorted into your sacred heart. And your beautiful sacred heart is welcoming you. And as you enter, you'll be surrounded by a beautiful energy. Copious amounts of unconditional love begin to wrap around you, inviting you in. And as you enter, the walls of your sacred heart are going to transform. They might look like a circuit board, like a web. You might see lines, designs, shapes. Whatever it is, know that it's right and true for you. Stand before the circuit board and observe whatever's on the walls of these sacred hearts. And as you're observing, you're going to see some areas highlight. They might be active and moving, might be pinging around, making a noise, making a buzz. Might feel a bump or a knot or like a constriction in your chest. Whatever it is, these areas of your experiences in the past around trust. Anytime your trust has been broken or breached, eroded, you've had feelings of mistrust or betrayal, whether it be with yourself or others, or both. These areas are going to become active. And if you're feeling a tightness in your chest, remember to breathe and know that you are safe. And as you breathe, that blue calcite is soothing and gently working its way, assisting you in releasing these areas, releasing the constriction around your experiences with mistrust. And you may see one area, you may see 12 areas. Whatever it is, just observe and breathe. I want you to reach down in your pocket, or maybe it's by your feet on the floor. You will see a beautiful crystalline vial that holds a sacred elixir. I want you to pick up the vial, take it out of your pocket, open the vial, remove the cork or the top. And I want you to breathe it in. It's going to have a scent. It may be a scent you like or no. It may be something totally awful. single one of you is going to have your own experience about the scent. And this elixir isn't a magic elixir. And once you breathe in the scent, I want you to begin to pour it on the walls of your sacred heart. And it's going to begin to cover any areas on that circuit board. And it is erasing and deleting and scrubbing clean any past and previous experiences with mistrust, any breaches from others, yourself, any and all situations that have left their mark for you around trust. These situations, these bumps, these areas, this elixir is scrubbing them, their timeline, and all things associated with them clean across all timelines, portals, and dimensions, seen or unseen, known or unknown, from past lives, previous lives, and future lives, and anything else we don't know to ask for. That is all being scrubbed clean now. Breathe in and out. And take a few more deep breaths in. And as you do, the energy of ruby is coming in. And this crystalline energy is starting to infuse that circuitry, recalibrating it, calibrating it back to the frequencies of hope, of trust, of knowing, is bringing in the frequencies of understanding, seeing, and speaking your truth. Is bringing in the frequencies of recognizing green flags. It is assisting you in cultivating a deeper relationship with yourself than your body, mind, being, and energy field. And as this ruby moves in, we're going to notice, see or imagine the floor of your heart space is going to open up. It might look like a trap door. There's going to be a space. And this space is going to open up and allow you to look down into your solar plexus chakra. And this chakra is your powerhouse. This holds the keys, the gifts of your intuition. It holds the fire for manifesting. It holds the fire of your soul. And just observe what you're seeing, sensing, or noticing down in that chakra. You reach into your other pocket and you're going to find 3 crystals. They might be small, they might be big. And as you pick them up in your hand, they're going to activate. They're going to activate to your frequency. Activate to new frequencies of trust and understanding. Trusting, creating bonds of emotional intimacy. Understanding the level of trust you need for physical intimacy. And understanding the level of trust you need, deserve, desire in all relationships that show up in your life. And as these stones activate, I want you to toss them down into your solar plexus chakra. And as they drop down, they're going to connect with the energy, your powerhouse, the fire of your soul. And that fire is going to rage and bring up the flames of your intuition to connect into your beautiful sacred heart. And don't worry, these flames cannot burn you. This is the fire of your intuition. This is the fire of your knowing. This is the fire of discernment that allows you to navigate your relationship with yourself and others in a way that honor your boundaries and honor your agreements, that honor your values and support your non-negotiables. This fire will assist you in hearing, seeing, knowing, and feeling very clearly what boundaries you need, what boundaries you desire and deserve in your relationship with yourself and others. I want you to bask in the heat and the color of this fire and breathe in its energy. This fire is coated with an intelligence that is assisting in waking up your intuition to a new level, waking up you understanding what your intuition is trying to tell you. It is waking up your voice to speak, knowing that whatever your intuition is telling you is enough for you to honor. This fire is repairing your ideas, your notions, your beliefs around trust. And when the fire has worked its magic, it's going to die back down to be held and contained in your solar plexus, leaving a small magical flame burning in your sacred heart. This flame continues to ignite your intuition, ignite your trust and knowing, sensing, seeing, feeling. It will assist in igniting your voice to speak your truth. As this flame dances in front of you and the colors dance on the wall, I want you to take note how the walls have transformed. Sense, see, or imagine what trust looks like with all your past and previous expectations, all your experiences around trust, erased and cleaned. I want you to open your heart and receive this fire, knowing this fire will assist you in creating supportive intentions, manifesting, trusting relationships, deepening your trust within yourself. And breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more time. And on the end of your last exhale, I want you to tap your sacred heart 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And allow this fire to ignite within you. Knowing that that fire is ignited and available to support you at any and all time. On your next exhale, you're going to be transported back into your heart space. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, taking a deep breath and coming back to this space and time when you're ready. Let me know how that was for you. Take your time coming back. Write down any messages that you received, any things that you saw. And this healing is going to continue to awaken different aspects of you. So tune in to things you are feeling, things you are sensing, things you are seeing, how your intuition is speaking to you. It's going to drop in some information around trust for you. So know that things will be continually downloading into your energy field and coming in as they see supportive and when you're able to receive them. If you have any questions for today, let me know. Tomorrow will be day 3, and we're going to talk a lot more about the Awaken Your Soulmate Within. We are going to do a super fun live question and answer. So make sure you come prepared with any questions you want channeled from the Akashic Records. They can be any questions around love, relationships, soulmates, soul clients, soul community, whatever your heart desires. You'll have a chance to ask those and get those answered tomorrow. Sure to drink a lot of water. There was a big energy shift in that healing. I was all empty at the end. It ended up, oh, beautiful. I love that. I love that you're able to bring in all of those colors and allow them to light up the walls of your heart, and that you got to see such a beautiful difference. You're going to continue to get those colors are going to come in and support you in different ways. You're going to continue to get some new information showing up on the walls of that sacred heart. So I'm excited to see how that ends up for you. And I'm going to check Facebook. I think everybody here is no questions and comments. So if that's it for today, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Be sure to have those questions ready. You're most welcome, my dear. Thank you. We'll make sure there is less technology issues and time zone issues tomorrow. We're going to get this. I know we are. 1 out of 3 is not bad, right? Oh, all right. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Bye.